Misfits 15 is here, and it's time for some predictions. This card came out of nowhere. I feel like I just watched Misfits 14, and now just a couple weeks later, Misfits 15 is here. Interesting timing of the events, but we got a decent amount of fights on this card, so let's get into it. I'm going to try to keep it quick. A fight I'm really looking forward to is OJ Rose versus Brendan Kelly. I love watching OJ Rose fight. I think he's one of the better fighters on Misfits. Since his first fight, you could see his potential, and he has improved each and every fight. I love his aggressive, come-forward fight style. The man always pushes the pace. He doesn't have boring fights, and he has a chin. His opponent, Brendan Kelly, is no scrub. He is experienced. He has more fights than OJ Rose at the amateur level. I haven't seen too much from him, but I know about these past fights. I watched his open workout. He has power, but OJ has a chin. I don't think his technical ability is on the same level as OJ Rose. I think he is going to throw some wild shots, and I think OJ is going to beat him to the punch. I think his defense is also going to be sound enough to not take too much damage, but I think he's going to continue to move forward, push the pace, get in the clinch, and have more success. I don't think OJ Rose has the power to put him away. I do think it's going to be a relatively close fight, but I think it's going to be a clear decision for OJ Rose here. Another fight I'm also looking forward to is Lil Cray Cray versus Yuddy Gang. A fight that we have already seen, kind of. We watched half of this fight previously, and then the event got swatted, their fight stopped, and now they are continuing on. It's not like they're going to resume their last fight. It's a completely new one. For that fight, I predicted that Yuddy Gang was going to win, but watching it over, it was close for sure, but Lil Cray Cray was getting the better of the exchanges, so it was going in his direction. To kind of keep it fair from last time, I'm going to keep my decision as a decision for Yuddy Gang. I think he may be able to adjust, learn from his mistakes in the last fight. It's not like he was getting completely outclassed, but I think he is very talented. I think both guys are, to be fair, but I think Yuddy Gang can turn it around and find this decision. I'm sticking with that. And then we have Anthony Park versus Anthony Vargas. Not too familiar with either guy. I know Anthony Vargas fought in one of the tag team matches way back when, and his team lost. He was better than his partner, but I wasn't overly impressed. He was definitely a beginner. I don't know how much training he has put into this and how much he has kept up with it since then. Jeremy Park, I also was not made aware of him until this fight announcement. I've watched some of his training clips. He does seem like the more experienced guy. He is taking his camp very serious. When I watched them both in the open workout, I think Jeremy Park looks more talented. He looks like he has more power on his shots, and he just looks more comfortable in the ring, even in just the open workout. So I'm going to go with him, Jeremy Park, by a third round stoppage. Let's move on. We got Killer B versus Sylvia Fernandez. Fernandez has not really even been mentioned in the lead up to this fight. They're not even really promoting her on the card. They're kind of just saying Killer B's debut without really mentioning the opponent. I thought that was kind of odd. It also makes me think that they are setting this up for Killer B to win by giving her a less experienced opponent. Killer B does look pretty decent. I didn't know about her going into this, but she looks pretty solid. She looks like she's getting a hang of it, like she knows what she's doing. But Sylvia Fernandez actually does look like she has some power. I think this is going to be a closer fight than what the promotion expected. I think it's going to be a little back and forth, a little ugly. I think both girls are going to land big, and I think that Killer B is going to win by a decision. There's also two prelim fights on this card that I guess I'll mention real quick. Alicia Megan versus Fangs. Fangs has fought on Misfits a couple times now. Very, very poor showings. Does not look like she's picking up boxing very well, and I think she's going to take another loss here. Alicia Megan, I don't think is very experienced, but I think she's just more athletic and probably will pick up the sport better. I'm going to go with Alicia Megan by a third round stoppage. And then we got Elena Vampira versus Loza. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Elena Vampira we've seen on Misfits before, and I actually was pretty impressed. I think she definitely has potential in this scene, but from Loza's open workout, I was actually even more impressed. I think she does look sharper, and she seems like she knows what she's doing. I think we're going to have another back and forth fight here, but I think that Loza is going to get the decision win over Vampira. Her shots aren't as looping, and I think she's just going to overall land more. All right, that leaves us off with our co-main and main event. In the co-main event, starting off another Misfits tournament, we got Le'Veon Bell versus Tristan Ham. Le'Veon Bell, beast ex-NFL running back, very athletic, and now he's been boxing for a couple years now as his focus. Tristan Ham also taking boxing very seriously. We know that he has been trained by Jake Paul's past coach, BJ Flores. I know both of these guys are taking this fight serious. Both of these guys are taking this sport serious, and I have gone back and forth a little bit on who I think's going to win. I am going to go with Le'Veon Bell. I think he's more composed in the ring. I think that Tristan Ham leaves himself open to be hit a little bit more. I don't think his defense is as sharp, and I think that Le'Veon Bell has the power to punish him for that. Le'Veon keeps a tight guard. He's smart with his shot selection, and I think he is going to find those shots, and I think he also has the defense to keep himself safe from Tristan Ham. I think it's going to be close, though. I could see both guys taking a couple rounds, but I'm going with Le'Veon Bell by decision. And now for our main event, Elle Brooke versus Paige Van Zant. And I actually think this is one of the easier predictions for this card. People in the MMA community like to clown on Paige Van Zant, saying that she's not very skilled. She struggled in the UFC. She was never a serious fighter. But when you compare her to Elle Brooke, you go back and watch her bare-knuckle boxing fights, her stand-up game has actually always been pretty solid. And when you watch the footage side by side of Elle Brooke, I think you see a pretty significant difference in the experience, in the knowledge of the sport, and there is a pretty big size difference here. Paige Van Zant is a lot bigger. She's a few inches taller, and she looks like she's bulked up for this fight. Or maybe Elle Brooke is just a lot smaller. I don't know the weight, but Paige also is going to have a lot more experience when it comes to cutting that weight. I think we're going to see a finish here. I think this matchup is just too soon for Elle Brooke. I get she's one of the bigger names for the women's side of influencer boxing, but I think she's rushing into this. I don't think she's ready. I'm going with Paige Van Zant by a third round stoppage. I think Elle Brooke's going to take a couple nasty shots. Her game plan is going to go out the window. She's going to panic, and I think we're going to see that finish. Maybe I'll be proved wrong big time, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's what I see going down. What do you guys think? Which one of these predictions do I have wrong? Let me know. And which fight are you looking forward to the most? I'm excited to see it go down. Breakdown of the event coming out soon, so stay tuned. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. The support is much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.